Your expertise is in the area of regional growth and includes a focus on the issue of smart growth. Can you explain a bit more about what these concepts mean and how they connect to the issue of the parking garage?
Okay, well, the concept of smart growth really has to be understood at the regional level. And basically, when you look at the patterns of growth, we have older cities that grew up along the waterways, smaller villages, and then, you know, the abandonment of a lot of those areas to the outskirts in an auto-oriented fashion over the last 60 years or so. Mm-hmm. And smart growth recognizes that that's not a sustainable pattern environmentally. It is costly on a whole variety of fronts when you build auto-oriented growth rather than compact urban growth. And so compact urban growth means, as we talked about earlier, connectivity, walkability, a mix of uses. Because what you're doing when you're compacting growth, besides getting the vibrancy of the connection of people in close proximity and the exchange of ideas and the exchange of commerce too, is you're saving, for example, on the infrastructure investments that you need. And those are paid for by society at large. Right? So when we put water and we put sewer in, if we have to extend long sewer lines and water lines out to the hinterlands, then it's not the most efficient use of that infrastructure, particularly when we have all these previous investments in these urban areas that are now old and need reinvestment. So we have problems in our cities with things like combined sewer overflow systems and just failing infrastructure that needs reinvestment. And we don't have the money as a society and the willingness to tax our citizens, and the citizens don't want to pay, rightly so much to continue to try to do both, which is reinvest in our urban areas and keep spreading, especially when the growth demands aren't there to spread. And we're just creating the ability to leave, which is what we've done in this region and throughout the United States. And we've done it in areas where the environment will not sustain it. When we look at climate change, you know, a third of carbon dioxide emissions are coming from tailpipes. And so if we can create environments that use less fossil fuels, less driving, then we're creating a more sustainable environment and cutting down on carbon dioxide emissions. And you know, it's also a matter of being more connected to people and having a higher level of understanding of others that are maybe different than you in an urban environment. That you know, we get to exchange ideas, which has shown to be really the seedbed of you know, of development of jobs ultimately. Because a lot of ideas emerge from cities and the exchange of ideas because of the close proximity of people. And so those things all tie together and really shows that cities are the best form of development from a variety of standpoints, and particularly you know, when we turn it back around to, okay, in this instance, when you're talking about a parking garage, well, our parking garage is bad? No, you know, we need a place to put cars where people are still driving, and we do have to accommodate vehicles. But we've gone overboard in the past with vehicles and retrofitting cities for cars as being the driver of everything that we did for 50, 60, 70 years. And we're coming to the realization, and we have for a while, but I say as a society, the new urbanists have been way out front on this for 20 years, pointing out to people, wait a minute, that's not the way we should be developing. That we should be developing cities for people, not cars. Cars are a part of it, but they're not the dominant form. So, like I said earlier, if the city center needs a parking garage, they can put it up on their property or next to the Hilton. If they want to build higher up, so instead of having just surface parking, they're gonna you know, quadruple their parking by building a 4 or 5 story garage. Fine, let it do it up there where it's not affecting the urban fabric in a way that's detrimental, and use this to fill in the missing teeth instead of this being, you know, the mechanism. So design is always, you know, the devil's in the details. Mm-hmm. You can't just say parking's bad, parking's good. People do come to the city in their car, and they do need to have a place to park. They just need to be willing to walk a little bit, and we can't sacrifice the urban fabric for cars.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so to close things out, what do you think the people of Saratoga who oppose this garage could do?
Well, first of all, the city could open up a wider dialogue to this issue and let it play out within the comprehensive plan, within the upcoming bike and pedestrian plan. The city itself should probably reconsider, maybe have a design competition for this area to let the parking garage be one of a number of proposals that, as part of a competition, and let the city residents chime in on what they think is the best use of this property, rather than just, one dominant business interest and their allies. And so, and like I said earlier, the city should seriously consider putting parking meters on Broadway for the benefit of the businesses. And that way, this perception of a parking problem may be dealt with in a way that doesn't create the need, or this idea that there's a need for, massive parking structures.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Todd, for coming here and talking to us. It was a great conversation. I really enjoyed it, and I look forward to talking to you again at some point in the future, maybe having you back here.
You got it.
Okay,
Thanks
great.
for having me.
Thanks.